Good evening and thanks for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Cody Proctor. Let's get started. Let's start things off with our forecast because today was a break from all of that rain that we had earlier this week. Meteorologist Michelle Bosch joining us now in the Weather Center. Michelle, could we be seeing more sunny conditions as we head into our Saturday and Sunday?
And I've got great news, and the answer is yes, just in time for the weekend. Of course, we enjoyed a little bit drier weather today. In fact, no rainfall for today, and looking for sunshine for the entire weekend. So here's a look at the next 12 hours. We are expecting clear skies tonight. So of course, without that blanket of clouds, it is going to be a little bit on the chilly side. Many folks seeing temperatures dip down into the 20s, but we should see seasonable high temperatures tomorrow afternoon in the 40s. You can see on satellite and radar, no rain across the inland northwest and mostly clear skies for tomorrow. Could see a little bit of patchy fog, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. Sunshine certainly for the afternoon. 32 degrees right now, but it has fallen into the 20s in Coeur d'Alene, 34 in Moses Lake, 32 in Sandpoint, and 37 degrees in Lewiston. Here's a look at the next 3 days. How about this sunshine for Saturday and Sunday? Highs in the upper 40s, and it looks like a dry start to next week as well. Partly cloudy, 48.
Michelle, thank you so much. We'll check back with you later. Caught on video, a man who's been arrested more than 200 times is in trouble again for breaking into a car in downtown Spokane. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk is here tonight to show us what happened and what police are saying about this growing problem. Kyle.
Well, Spokane police are seeing a dramatic increase in vehicle prowling, specifically in the downtown area. It's up 441% compared to this time last year. Now, one of the latest suspects arrested is 45-year-old Glenn O'Brien. Police say this is video of him on South Wall Street near the Wells Fargo building. He looks at a car, then smashes the window, grabs a backpack, and walks off. Now, this happens downtown during the middle of the day. Police say O'Brien has an extensive criminal history, which includes 47 felony convictions, and get this, more than 225 local arrests spanning the last 20-some years. O'Brien was booked into jail Wednesday and has already been released. Well, you might be asking how? Well, Washington court law says aside from serious violent crimes, a defendant should be released if they have ties to the community, will not skip court, or commit a violent crime. Judges, however, have the final say. And SPD says city prosecutors strongly opposed O'Brien's release from jail, but those objections were not considered. He was released without bond. In the newsroom, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Kyle, thank you so much. Now to our night beat for a quick look at the day's top stories. A great new perk for local Amazon workers. Starting next quarter, Amazon staffers right here in Spokane will be able to go to community college classes for free. Now, Amazon and the community colleges of Spokane announced a new partnership that'll cover the cost of tuition, books, and class fees. About 1,800 workers are eligible for the new program.
Your unbelievable efforts and advocacy since Sam's passing mean that no other parent has to experience that again.
The parents of Sam Martinez are close to getting new laws passed in their son's name. Sam died after a fraternity hazing event at Washington State University from alcohol poisoning. Sam's law would change the way colleges treat hazing. The bill now goes to the House, where the sponsor says she expects it to be sent to the governor's desk next week.
It's been crazy, very humbling, to be honest with you. Get a little emotional about it, thinking, you know, all these people coming in, so.
The crisis in Ukraine has been felt all around the world, even right here in the inland northwest. For one couple in Coeur d'Alene, it hits too close to home. Then last week, Malvagio's pizza owner Matt Peterson found out his father Nikolai was shot in the hip while working in the Kyiv area. Luckily, Peterson says his father is recovering in a Ukrainian army hospital and is expected to be okay. In response, he and his wife decided they wanted to help Ukraine. They're donating 10% of all earnings from this Wednesday through tomorrow to humanitarian groups. They're also selling borscht and donating the money. He says they haven't yet selected which group they'll donate the money to because they want to do more research and make sure they pick the right organization. And that was a look at your night beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them right to your phone. Taking a look across the world tonight, Russian troops are closing in on another nuclear power plant after seizing one yesterday. Today, U.S. officials say the world only narrowly avoided a nuclear catastrophe during the violent siege of Europe's biggest nuclear facility. Ukraine's president called the attack terror on an unprecedented level. NATO Secretary General also accused Russian military of using banned weapons. Meanwhile, the attacks are getting even more brutal, with NATO saying the Russians are using cluster bombs, which are against international law. Switching gears, it was an exciting evening for Gonzaga fans of all ages. Not only did they get to meet the team up close, they supported a good cause at the same time. Players helped donate or load donated socks, toiletries, and food for those in need. Fans, both young and old, got to take pictures and have basketball signed. Rick Clark, founder of Giving Backpacks, helped organize the event and says they collected enough donations in 2 hours to fill about 200 backpacks for those in need.
To try and give back, this community's embraced us really well for the whole season, and they love us, so we love them.
Coach is big in philanthropy, so whether it's going to clean stuff up, just organize a food drive, or even just pick up trash by the river, Coach is big on that.
It's always been in my heart to try and help them out and put them in a better place. It makes me feel better as a person.
No Lie Brewhouse also passed out 500 Pay It Forward pint glasses to those who donated. Well, moving on now, it's state semifinal Friday in both Idaho and in Washington. Brenna Green joining us now with the latest from big schools in both states.
Yeah, we're going to start in Tacoma, where the Mount Spokane boys were making an unprecedented run as a 7 seed to those state semis. Wildcats had to take on perennial basketball power Rainier Beach next, who beat Ferris by 13 in the first round, and they hung with Rainier. Ryan Lafferty with the steal. He finds a streaking Maverick Sanders, then Xavier Kamalu Vargas goes right around his defender here. However, Rainier Beach would get the edge in the second half. They led by 8 with 1.5 minutes to go. Mount Spokane feverishly made a run, but it was too late. They fall 53-50. The Meade girls only had 3 field goals in the first half of their game against Lake Washington and trailed 27-11 at the break. But they led a feverish comeback as well in the second half. Taryn Gardner was a huge part of it. There she is getting a layup. Alicia Suggs also playing a role as she gets a layup as well. Meade would trail by just 1 with seconds to go, and they had the final possession. Here's how it ended up. Gardner gets a great shot at it, but she's just a little bit too much underneath the basket. Meade falls 42-41. To Yakima with the Pullman boys taking on number 1 seeded North Kitsap. First quarter, Pullman up by 1. Tanner Barber dunks it home to extend the Hounds' lead to 3 on the Vikings. Jaden Brown dishes it to Grayson Hunt. He does the work inside, banks it in for 2 to tie the game for Pullman. Vikings back on top. Hunt gets the loose ball for Pullman, fights his way inside to get the bucket and ties the game once again. Later in the first, Pullman down 3. Barber to Brown. He gets inside and gets the foul, too, to pull the Greyhounds within 1. The Greyhounds will go on a 26-9 run in the fourth quarter to put this one away, 69-53. To Boise, the St. Mary's boys continuing their quest to defend their 2021 state title against Westside. Third quarter, and they're already up by 7. Sean Elliott in the paint. That ball cleared for takeoff. Next time down the court, it's Gentry Nelson letting it fly. 32-21 St. Mary's. Now Westside is aware of that post presence, which gives Grayson Sands a wide open 3 from the corner, up 13 now, and somehow this ball gets to Sands again. He's never met a quarter 3 he didn't like, ladies and gentlemen. St. Mary's headed back to the state title game, winning 59-50. We'll have more later on in the show.
Brenna, thank you so much. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you can get more news in less time. But be sure not to go to bed just yet. After the break, we'll share Tom's final goodbye here at KREM 2. We're back in 90 seconds.